When I walk by your side, I can only imagine.
It is with profound sadness that we announce the passing of our beloved Ayinde Azariah Rogers, formerly of number 22 Bel-Air Hopetown, West Coast, Berbice, Reserve Private of the Guyana Defense Force Sports Corps, who was born on the 20th of May 2005 and died on the 20th of July 2026 following an accident. He was 21 years old, son of Dave Rogers of the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated and Charmaine White, brother of Gerald Rogers and Tanisha Halley, welfare officer of the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, Fort Wellington, uncle of Abdul Watson and Azaria Semple, grandson of Orrin White and Maisie Burton of the USA and Wilma MacDonald, foster grandson of Paul White and Mertland Simon of the USA, nephew of Tara White Nelson, Cecile White Joseph, headmistress of Rideslust South Nursery School, Dale Primo of GCOM, Simone, Rawl and Orrin Noble, Tamara and Deandra White, all of the USA, Joylyn Douglas, Inspector Raquel Mars of the Guyana Police Force, Marlon, Lyndon, Renrick, Dexter, and Delon Rogers, Addis Lewis, also known as Peggy, Kerwin Tom, and Kurt August, great-nephew of Justice Retired Claudette Singh, Lorene West, Hermin O'Ree, Cyril White, James, Clayton, Pansy, and Valde Britton, all of the USA, Samuel Britton, Colleen McCammon, and Rosamond Downer, Joy Foster, Marjorie Wang, Margaret Burke, Patricia Smith, Dawn Rogers, Merlin Francis, Carol Rogers, Claudine Gibbons, and Oslin Johnson, all of the USA, Alfred Jr., Colin and Orrin Rogers, Robert Francis, Wilfred Johnson, and Mexford London, great-great-nephew of Mercy Ann London, May Mackenzie, Doris Peters, and Sheila Benjamin of the USA, godson of Desmond Anderson, Mark Thomas, and Cicely Greenwich, godbrother of Belinda and Glenn Greenwich and Joshua Anderson, nephew-in-law of Michael Nelson of Gaisuku Blairmont Estate, Bernard Joseph of McCurp, Randy O'Ree, Sandra Burton, Vernick Noble of the USA, Godfrey Downer, Audrey Burton, Jocelyn Douglas, Corel Mars, Inspector of the Guyana Police Force, Amanda and Carlin Rogers, and Faye Ford, cousin of Philip Sheriff of the Guyana Police Force, Sasha Douglas, Kieran McRae, Odetta Nelson of the United Kingdom, Martin Durant, Selwyn Ross, Selwyn Simon, Delon Ridley, Andy Mitchell, and Dwayne Alfred, Darwin Nelson of the United Kingdom, Delon Nelson, Adiemi Joseph of Rapid Offshore, Alafin and Daisy Joseph of the University of Guyana, Ezekiel Joseph, Demasi Primo, Naomi, Jonathan and Addison Noble, Sade and Shamari White, Zakira, Michaela, and Justice Johnson of the USA, Gaynell Sheriff, Delon Douglas of the USA, Jason Rogers, Dallas Douglas, Rashana Rogers, Cariel Mars, Collis and Nicola Rogers of Antigua, Kirk Rogers of the Guyana Police Force, Renita Rogers of the USA, Dexter Jr., Denicia and Dimani Rogers, Sasha Devon Naomi, Javon Barden, Malik Kristen, Linda Hiralal and the siblings, Rochelle Alfred and ancillary staff of Hopetown Primary School, Colin and Janice McCammon, Janesta Ridley, teacher of Covent Garden Secondary School, Joel and James Burton, Lindy Ann Burton of the USA, Althea Kosher of the British Virgin Islands, Duane and Diane Downer of Oil and Gas Guyana, Abigail Mitchell, Nikisha Fraser, Gianna Durant, Kyle and Keisha O'Ree, Kurt White of the USA and others, Colette, Cloyette, Colwyn, Clydella, Garland and Omar Saul, Dalton Downer, Buddy Cook, Myrna Marva and Dill Sharp and others, Milton Cummings and others, Clotilda and Birgit Semple, Samuel Harcourt, Camille Mackenzie, Myrtle Wade, Veer Prince, Cherise Benjamin, Otis Benjamin, Donna Okusanya, Sylvia Brown, Donna Higgins, Brenda Robertson, Claremont Saul, Byron Lloyd Britton, Daphne Abrams, Gladys King and Cynthia Nicholson, all of the USA and others, Ingrid Ross, Stephen, Trevor and Christine Rogers, Bernadette and Wendy Foster of Barbados, Neville Burke of Canada, Cynthia Rogers, Adriel and Malika Drakes, Wellington Rogers of the USA, Malika Rogers, Quincy David, Jonelle Florence of the USA, Sabrina and Serena Drakes, Eon and Travis Wills, Jelon and Jacqueline Mackenzie of the USA, Carla Rogers, Oyana Drakes Adonis, Lover and Arthur of the Guyana Police Force, Christopher Lawrence, Lorez, Robin and Marcia Joseph, Rolex Toya and Alicia Johnson, Nicole Nelson and Dawn Samuels of the USA, Sharon and Colin MacDonald, Tracy Barry of Barbados, Wendy, Keith and Murphy Samuels, Waveney, Milton, Carol, Trishelle, Errol and Nan MacDonald, June Barry, Joylyn Ford Maynard of the USA, Steve, Owen Rogers, Bernadette, Nancy, Sonia, Andrea, Wendelin, Osric Foster and others, Janella Griffith, Tina Benjamin, Jaheem, Jazina and Jafir Sharif, Chrisdel Spencer of the USA, Jaciana Rogers, Adela and Zeze Douglas of the USA, RJ Blair of the USA, Royalty and Raheem Durant, special friend of Kezia Blackmon and Jamisa Lucas of the USA, friend of Diamond Wade and Nellie Joseph, the class of 2017 Hopetown Primary School, Anton Ross, Shamar Angel, Tyrell Ralph, David Blacks, and members of the Achievers Youth and Sports Club, Isaiah Thorne, Silas Tyndall, Deshelle Semple, Darren, Kenny, and the 50 Bus Crew, Sacklin McCalmont, Dion Cadogan, Onika Giddings, Cowboy Barbershop Crew, and others too numerous to mention. He was the relative of the Rogers, Smiths, McDonalds, Samuels, Johnsons, Blairs, Websters, Mackenzies, Rosses, Halleys, Brutuses, Caesars, Tullocks, Mars, Lynches, Frasers, Semples, Whites, Cummings, Bethunes, Burtons, Yangapatis, Reverend Rashana Gillis, Pastor Caroline Bruce Williamson, Pastor Amanda Singh, and members of the Bush Lot Lutheran Church and others too numerous to mention. The funeral for the late Ayinde Azariah Rogers will take place on Friday, 14th of August, 2026. His body will be removed from Anthony's funeral home at 11 a.m. and taken to his parents' residence for viewing. A second viewing will follow at the Emmanuel Congregational Church, Hopetown, from 1:30 p.m., immediately followed by homegoing service at 2 p.m. Interment will be done at the Hopetown Cemetery. Sleep on, our beloved one. Sleep on.